I'm Jonathan Reed, owner of the Enid Outlaws, and I have the pleasure today to be with Coach Burshaud Williams, who has just been named the Enid Outlaws head coach. How you doing, Coach?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Good. Well, we just want to get an opportunity to let the fans get to know you and the general public just to kind of just express how excited you are. Just tell us a little bit about how you feel being named the head coach of the Enid Outlaws.
Actually, let's go ahead and go back. I know you and I spoke in San Antonio some months before when you guys were there playing with the post-grad prep team, and you had mentioned it to me. You know, if I kind of knew anybody, had a good resume that might want to come in and coach. And for a while, I sat on that, that question that you asked me.
Yeah.
And I have a pretty good Rolodex of people that I could have reached out to and, presented the opportunity. But I kind of felt like God was telling me, hey, this has been presented to you. Look at it. So then, of course, I continue to contact you about more information, and that's when I finally kind of laid it out to you, like, hey, I'm interested. And I felt like it was just God telling me, like, hey, man, you've been off the sidelines for about 1.5 years, 2 years. Here's a opportunity for you to get right back on. And I feel like coming here, it's giving me the opportunity to give some of these young athletes some of the wisdom that I've gained from some of the higher mentors that I've had within, the international ball, the NBA, G League, just pretty much all around the basketball world. So, I mean, it's a pleasure. It feels good. Since I've been here, I've been enjoying it. I mean, I'm back in the mindset of, just getting ready and working hard.
Good. That sounds good. And so with the basketball, we're going back to that background. We have a background against each other a little bit. You want to talk a little bit about that when I was playing a little bit and that experience? So,
of course, you would say my first professional head job was the Alamo City Aztecs. And I think we were in the NABL starting off.
Yep.
And that's when we first met.
Yep.
You were actually on the floor playing. And, our team competed against you guys. Always was great competition. Our point guard, Devin, he did say the other night doing open runs, he was like, man, it was always enjoyable playing you guys. So that's where, our relationship kind of goes from you being ownership, then on the floor playing, and then, of course, me being head coach. So.
Yeah, back then you never would have even guessed that this would have been possible,
Exactly.
that we would be sitting in the same on the same sideline, in the same organization doing this. When I was playing, all we could think about was beating y'all because y'all got us the first, I think, 2 times.
Yeah.
And so we were like, man, we got to come back and beat these guys. And that's how the game of basketball is. It's a game that, like we always say, it's a small world. The basketball world is really small, and people don't really realize that. So that's good. Well, good. Stepping into the future now, so tell us a little bit about your basketball philosophy and what you plan to bring to the organization as far as that goes.
What I plan to bring, first of all, it starts with me. And, you've heard me tell the guys, just in the open rec runs, even in the one-on-one conversations I've told them, I trust you first.
Right.
You trust me second. And I feel like that's how it's supposed to come in. A lot of times you look at players and you think they're just supposed to trust you first. But you have to trust those guys that they can buy into what type of philosophy you want to work and what you want to do. And I'm a big lead by example. And, when I first came into our facility, great facility we have, some of the young men that are there right now and some of the pro guys that are there, I kind of explain to them that, hey, this is what we're going to do. Trash is going to be taken out. Dish is going to be cleaned up. You walk into my room, you're looking to see it's clean.
Yep.
So this is how we need to be. But if I come in here, first thing I'm doing is complaining and my things are kind of out of sort, then that stuff is going to trickle down to our players within the organization. So I'm very big on leading by example and just kind of coming in and letting them know, like, hey, I'm going to trust you right off the bat. I'm here to gain your trust. And that starts off how you present yourself, how you talk to them. Like I told the guys, I'm not an emotional coach. I'm not going to coach on the sideline, yelling at you, being disrespectful. Because at the end of the day, nothing between those lines is personal, it's business.
That's right.
So.
And we think that, from a management standpoint, we thought that was a great leadership style for these athletes these days and how our team is being built. We have some veteran guys coming back on our team this year, and we felt like that lead by example style would be great for our team and our organization moving forward. So you're a perfect fit for that. Since I've been around you, it's been nothing but positivity, and we really like that.
Thank you.
So going forward to that, the playing style. With that being said, I know it's all due to personnel and the kind of players we have, but is there anything particular that you want to share how you plan to play without giving up too much information to our competitors out there?
Real simple and easy.
Yeah.
I plan to play where you got to guard us.
That's it.
You have to guard us.
Yep. So when it comes to that, we've been already dealing with some players and stuff like that. We still have one workout coming up that we're looking for some players still. If any players are watching or whatever, what would you say you're lacking right now or what you're looking for?
I wouldn't say we're lacking. I'm very big on understanding the difference between a hooper and a basketball player. A hooper is a type of player that can actually go get their on. Mm-hmm. A basketball player is a type that can take his individual talent and piece it together with 4 other players on the floor.
There you go.
That brings a unit, a core. And, you heard me say this. Just because you don't touch a ball in a possession doesn't mean you're not a part of it.
That's right.
Just by you spacing, getting away from the ball, you've done something to help whoever it is may have the ball to get opportunity to score. So as long as you can fit within that core piece, whatever individualized talent you have that can combine with ours and we can play together as a unit, I mean, that's what I'm looking for.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I think that's great. And so with you having a player development background similar to mine, tell me, like, how important is that a part of the program going to be this year? Like helping the guys get better?
I'll even throw it out there. My background. I've been with the Spurs Sports Academy organization about 11 years back and forth. I've got a lot of higher-up mentorships in the NBA. I'm one of the main, lead player development with us for our youth in the community. And one thing I'm very big on is doing skill work that translates to the game. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you can go in, you can put people through this, put them through that, and yes, they're getting good reps out of it. But what you're trying to teach during that skill development is just something that's going to translate within an offensive set. And that's what I've done so far with the guys when we've been doing workouts is everything that I put them through, it makes sense to where it's going to go within what we're doing. It's always going to correlate with whatever goes on within the offensive set. I'm never just going to come in and just kind of say, hey, we got this whole to-do list today in skill work and we're going to do this. It's all going to translate over.
That's great. And see, that goes along with our philosophy that we started this organization with, player development, getting better, having the players come here, improve whatever it is they need to do, and moving players on to higher and bigger levels. That's the most important thing for this organization. It has been. Mm-hmm. But, we kind of lose focus, when it comes to recruiting players. And I'm glad we're back to that player development, that model.
Thank you.
Yep. So with the fans, so Enid has a very passionate group of fans, okay? And we like to win out here, okay? How competitive do you think you are as far as just the coach?
Very competitive. I'm competitive, but I don't allow that to disrupt me if it doesn't pan out the way I felt like it should have panned out. I'm all about getting over something and moving to the next step, whatever we got to do, because at the end of the day, we've got to make preparation for the next game, for the next game, for the next game. But I've learned over the years of coaching that once that game is done, and let's say you didn't compete the way you felt like you can compete, you wash your hands, you be done, make preparation for the next game.
Next play. So
you don't bring what happened that last game into the next environment.
Good.
Because every game is going to give you some type of different competition.
Yep.
That's what it is. But I'm very competitive. Like I said, I love to win, but at the same time, I do know that sometimes it might not be our night, mm-hmm. and preparation is key to move on to the next game.
Well, how important, switching gears a little bit, then is that community involvement and the fan base and all that other stuff. The Spurs do an unbelievable job of that, by the way. And so are you planning to bring some of those tactics into the organization here? And how important do you think that is for an organization to have that?
Very important. We have a thing that, if you go look on Instagram, it's called the Spurs Way. Mm-hmm. And I'm very big on that, the Spurs Way. It's one of those things where we're very community driven. Mm-hmm. So I've always told players that, even in the coaching game, even in the being a basketball player, mm-hmm. at some point in time, that ball is going to stop. And you can go up and you can come down. And a lot of people don't realize that if you don't develop the youth, where do our next stars come from?
That's right.
So being community involved is very important. because you're always going to have to go in the community. You're going to have to find the next player that may end up going to whatever level of professional basketball, college level, whatever it can be. But at the same time, you've got to be open. And I always tell guys this, social media plays a big part.
Yeah.
And I'm very big on that. I've talked to the guys about that, and I say, hey, man, I'm going to just tell you one thing. Private social media as an athlete is very hard to do.
Right.
Because you want to be open to the community.
Sure.
You want to be open to the youth. I mean, my social media, you know, I talk to kids all the time with good job, you know, and I follow around the country. You know, I'm proud of you. One of the young ladies that's in Dallas, she's from out of Mexico, from out of the city of Saltillo. She actually just scored 1,000 points the other day.
There you go.
Very proud of her.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
I've seen that young lady grow, and you just think about stuff like that, you know, they thrive. That develops the next athlete to be open, to being able to be taught to, and you just got to be able to be open in the community. And I'm very community driven.
Yep.
I love doing things in the community, first of all. I mean, those are the ones who pack the house for you, the ones that cheer you on, that bring the excitement, that
Absolutely.
if an alley-oop is thrown. So.
Absolutely. You know, I know about that, and that's kind of what we talked about when we were interviewing you in the job. I said, how important is that to you? Simply because of this community needs it. And we kind of thrived on that our first couple years. We were very successful doing that, and it showed in our fan base, it showed in our support, and it actually gave us a huge advantage on the court to actually win the championship that first year. Our home court was protected because we had a good group of fans and people, and a lot of those were our youth, you know, and so I think that's huge, and I'm glad you said that, because that's something we really talked about early, the player development, the community development, and then I think that takes care of the other stuff on the court. And so I appreciate that. That was really good.
Just going back to finish that question up, I mean, what are parents going to do? Parents are going to support where their kids are.
For sure.
And it's if it's a positive environment and it's something that they love doing, they're going to support them in doing it.
Yep.
You know.
So camps, clinics, that's what we plan to do here in the future. We want to do a lot of different things with the youth and get everybody involved to see our new product as well. Coach is bringing out a very good group of guys. We've been working really hard to put a good competitive roster together that will not only be, you know, competitive on the court, but also be engaging and also be something that the community can be proud of. And I think that you're the man to lead the charge. I'll be in the background supporting you as much as I can, and I think we'll get that done.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So, moving on to some other things. What do you think, as of now, just based on what you've seen, is going to be one of the biggest challenges for you this year? Good. I got to get you to think on something. Yeah, you're really good in interviews, so I had to get you something that make you think a little bit.
You know, I really can't even think of a challenge because I guess I haven't been put in the fire yet. And it's one of those things where I mean, I really can't. You can't prepare yourself for challenges because you just don't know when they're going to come about.
That's right.
And it's all about what you do when that opportunity. I wouldn't even say a challenge is an opportunity, but a challenge is an opportunity for an opportunity.
That's right.
So I guess when something comes about, I mean, that's when I'll figure it out.
Yep. I like it. That's a great attitude to have. And this league is very, very competitive. It's a lot more competitive than people think. There's a lot of young talent. There's a lot of veterans in the league at this point, and the basketball's a lot better than what people think. You know, there's great facilities. There's great coaching staffs, I mean, throughout the league. And our conference is arguably one of the best ones. The champions come out of the conference the last 4 or 5 years, I believe. So it's very competitive and very good basketball. So I think you're going to do really well, and you're going to enjoy the level of basketball in this organization too. And so, yeah, and to finish up, is there something that like you would like fans and people out there to know about you, just personally as a coach? We can kind of see your character off the court. It's amazing. You've been great. But, you know, as a coach, is there something that, you know, you just want people to know about you?
I'm not afraid to say this, and the reason why I say I'm not afraid of, because a lot of times you kind of get looked down upon for things like this, but I come with an ego, but an ego of confidence. And a lot of times you got to look at some of the most successful people in the world today have an ego, and sometimes that word can be taken as a negative definition behind it, but it's not. Preparation. I love what I do. I have a confidence about myself. If I come unconfident, then my players are going to be unconfident. So that's just something that I've learned over the years, is that when I step on that sideline, as long as I feel like I'm confident, those guys will follow suit. And I'm always prepared before I start to get a hold of them. That way they just follow suit and they fall into play with me. And like I said, I'm a very open, easy person to talk to. I'm very approachable. I'm a people person.
Yep.
I love to converse with people. You know, I'm a quote person.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I do love quotes. I do a little coffee quote every morning on my social media.
I love it.
But that's one of the things that over the years that I kind of felt uneasy about, but now I'm comfortable about it now that, hey, I have an eagle of a confidence. It's
been very good to see you do that, even with our prep program. So Coach has been helping out with the On Point Hoops Academy prep program, and has done a phenomenal job with those young men just getting out there and just getting himself acclimated to the community, basically. And I've been seeing that. The little details and the things that you pay attention to is amazing. I think that's going to be the difference in our product on the court this year, and I'm very excited to see what this coach is going to be bringing to our organization, and we're putting a heck of a team out there. So for all you Enid Outlaws fans, we're looking forward to the season. Thank you so much for your time and watching this, and hope to see you out there. Come to a game. You got anything to close out, Coach?
No, hey, I've heard we had a great fan base, and I want to see that great fan base this season. There's a lot of great talent. I can tell you now, I've been impressed with some of the talent that I have coming in, that I've seen so far as well. And hey, come support us and cheers on.
Yep. So one last thing we forgot to announce: we're going to start getting out some players and bringing some players on here so you can check out them and get to know them as well. We'll be updating you on that stuff. So look at the websites, all the social medias, EnidOutlaws.com, all the Instagram, Facebook. We have all the stuff. So come check us out, get some updates. We're going to be putting tickets on sale soon. So come check us out. We're really excited, and I hope to see you at an Outlaws game soon.